Coming up on FaceTime.
I like Guangzhou very much. My personal habits and health, and I extremely like Cantonese food.
It's now the 25th anniversary of diplomatic ties.
China is a major investor to our economy. The major infrastructure, the major fields of Chinese investment are infrastructure, mining. Chinese businessmen, they are very active. Kyrgyzstan is a beautiful country. As Chinese people say, 有山有水.
Mr. Maksat Tentemishov, welcome to FaceTime. It's a pleasure having you here on the show today. Now, I would like to start by asking, how long have you been here in Guangzhou?
Thank you, Haza. For me, it's also a very big pleasure to be here with you. I'm here more than 3.5 years, almost 4 years to be soon.
Wow.
By the end of the March of the next year.
And have you enjoyed Guangzhou?
I like Guangzhou very much. It's a nice city. There's huge potential, and climate is very good, and people, good environment to work and live.
And what about the food? Because I know for a lot of people, food is one of the best things about Guangzhou.
Since our food has a big difference with the local food, we enjoy much, because Kyrgyzstan is a landlocked country. We don't have seafood products, so that is why for us to have seafood is a great pleasure. We enjoy it really, and especially with the Chinese quality of cooking. Chinese cuisine is known all over the world, and we really enjoy it very much. And the secondly, local food is one of the known foods among the Chinese cuisine. So taking into account my personal habits and health, and I extremely like Cantonese food.
Fantastic. Well, that's good considering you are in Guangzhou. I'm a big fan of Cantonese food as well. Let's talk a little bit now about the relationship between China and Kyrgyzstan, because it's now the 25th anniversary of diplomatic ties, and also China has implemented recently, or proposed recently, the Belt and Road Initiative. So what do you think that means for the two countries?
Belt and Road Initiative is the initiative that I personally like, and my country like, and my people like, because it provides a lot of opportunities for joint development of economy, joint development of relations between not only two countries, but all over the world among this Belt and Road, and it is more than 4 billion people. And taking into account that China is a major investor to our economy, so we warmly welcome the initiative and fully support it. And we do hope that the initiative will grow and will have success in its realization.
And I'd like to know, what are Chinese people investing in Kyrgyzstan?
The major infrastructure, the major fields of Chinese investment are infrastructure, mining. Chinese businessmen, they are very active, and we can have investments in different fields. For instance, ceramics, we have building materials, we have mining, we have agriculture, and there is no limitation in my country for foreign investment. All fields of economy are open. That is why it is good for Chinese businessmen, and they can freely invest to any field they wish to.
FaceTime is now coming soon to your mobile phone. Please search for 触点新闻 in the App Store or Android Market and download the app brought to you by Guangdong Radio and Television. Then open the app and press subscribe up top. Simply search for FaceTime or 面对面 within the app and follow us for more FaceTime news and short videos.
还有远赴新西兰淘金的广东华侨先驱，2000张广州黑白老照片竟不为人知。
Alright, let's speak a little bit about culture for a minute now. Is the culture in Kyrgyzstan and the culture here in China very different?
Of course, we have many similarities in terms that we are Asian culture and the location also in Asia. So, for instance, I can tell you that Kyrgyz people, same like Chinese people, are very hospitable. We like invite friends to have tea, to have lunch, eat together, and same in China. And if we don't invite anybody to have food to share it, we feel from our heart not comfortable. Same, we have, as I told you, the common roots and the common 2000 years of history, and that is why, of course, there should be a lot of many things which are we have in China and in Kyrgyzstan.
And I know that the consulate has held some events in the past to promote Kyrgyzstan culture here in Guangzhou. Do you have any plans to do similar events in the future?
Last year we have held Days of Culture in Guangzhou. It was a good event in order to promote the Kyrgyz culture, in order to give some information about, to share with Guangdong, with Guangzhou people. And I do hope in the next year to have same culture days in Guangzhou, because it is warmly welcomed, and the Chinese people is trying to learn more about the neighboring countries, about the world, and that is why Chinese tourists traveling abroad growing year by year. And we have to use this opportunity to share with them in order to get more tourists from Guangdong, which is considered to be most traveling province among the provinces of China.
Well, we'll talk a little bit more about tourists in a moment, but first I want to talk about language, which is related to culture. And I know that you yourself can speak Chinese. You studied it at university, but recently all over the world studying Chinese has become somewhat of a craze. A lot of people are doing it. How about in your country? Are a lot of people studying Chinese now in Kyrgyzstan?
As I told you earlier, around 3,000 people, young generation people used to study in China. And since all fields of life of Kyrgyzstan has close interaction, has close links with China, and Chinese language is very popular now in Kyrgyzstan. I can tell you one sample of that. Any people who speak Chinese and they easily find job in Kyrgyzstan. It is well paid, and that is why it is very attractive to young generation to study Chinese. So that is why we have in Kyrgyzstan, I think, of the three Confucian institutions.
Oh, Confucian institutes. Oh wow. Oh, three.
Moreover, this year at the capital of our country, Bishkek, the new school of Chinese teaching school was introduced, and immediately there were a lot of people, lot of school people keen to learn Chinese, and there were no seats available.
Wow.
So
the classes were full.
Classes are full, and I don't know how selections was made, but classes are full.
Wow.
These are the small samples how Chinese is popular in my country.
The Kyrgyzstan culture that's attracting a lot of Chinese people to travel to your country now, and I know that recently Kyrgyzstan implemented electronic visas for Chinese tourists. Has that helped to increase the amount of Chinese tourists traveling to your country?
That's true. Kyrgyzstan just introduced electronic visas, but it is absolutely newly implemented projects. Went from the September, and I cannot say about the immediate impact and to attract Chinese tourists, but I do hope that it will be very helpful to get Chinese tourists, because to make visa formalities, to get visa tourists, you need only 3 days, and everything to be done online. No need to come to the consulate, and
very convenient.
So we do hope it will give a good impulse to the Chinese tourists, because Kyrgyzstan is one of the neighboring countries. We don't need a long time just to get to Kyrgyzstan, and so far we have tourists mainly from Europe, America, and serious countries like Kazakhstan, like Russia, and we do hope that Chinese tourists will discover new tourist destination as Kyrgyzstan.
FaceTime is now coming soon to your mobile phone. Please search for 触电新闻 in the App Store or Android Market and download the app brought to you by Guangdong Radio and Television. Then open the app and press subscribe up top. Simply search for FaceTime or 面对面 within the app and follow us for more FaceTime news and short videos.
Whoa!
Not too much, just enough to complement the scallops, just like that.
So what would you say are some of the must-see destinations in Kyrgyzstan?
Kyrgyzstan is a beautiful country and very known with its wild and beautiful life, because 93% of entire territory of my countries are mountains.
Wow.
We have average altitude above the sea is 2,700 meters. So that is why you can imagine that how beautiful the environment there. As Chinese people say, 有山有水. We have around 2,000 lakes, which are small, they have different sizes, and number one tourist destination is Isikul Lake, which is the most deepest mountainous sea in the world. You can imagine that the deepest place is more than 700 meters. It is difficult to imagine. Wow. It is the length of the sea is 170 kilometers, and
it's a big lake.
Yeah, it is like a big lake, a big sea.
A big sea, yeah.
And especially it would be the best season to visit Isikul. It is summer, when people can swim on this lake and simultaneously enjoy the beauty of high altitude, high mountainous peaks covered by snow peaks.
Yeah, I've seen some photos of a beach in Kyrgyzstan, which I found very interesting because Kyrgyzstan is a landlocked country, but I've seen a beach, and then in the background you can see the snow-capped mountains. I mean, how many places can you be on the beach and enjoy a swim and still see snow-capped mountains?
It's a big advantage, and the most attractive place is, as I told you, number one destination is Issyk-Kul Lake. And here you can have the tourists not only the summertime, also in the winter time. Here we have the skiing, we have the international standard skiing resort where the used Soviet Union sportsmen used to train there, and we have many old places to see, like Burana Tower. It is more than 1,000 years built. Wow. Minaret, and it was to be only 40 meters height. Now it is, due to the time, now it is smaller, almost. It is now we have only 25 meters height. And the exact copy of this Burana Tower we have in the southern part of my country. The history, it is, as I told, it is around 10th, 12th. It is more than 1,000 years. And we have, for instance, Greece nut forest. It is a wild, absolutely wild. It is the biggest wild Greece nut forest in the world. The entire area, it is around 600,000 hectares. It is the biggest. There is a legend that this forest was planted by the soldiers of Alexander the Great. And it is a place also very popular to the tourists.
Nice, fantastic.
So, as I told you, the Kyrgyzstan is known by the bio-agriculture products, and that it is bio because good environment, almost no industry that pollutes the country. So that is why it is very popular to tourists coming from Europe and America. And we hope the Chinese people can find a new destination, tourist destination.
I'm sure they'll be there very soon. Hopefully after watching our program we'll be able to encourage some people from Guangdong to visit Kyrgyzstan. But what would be the best way for them to get there?
All the way to Kyrgyzstan from Guangzhou, from China, leads via Urumqi. Yeah, Urumqi is a transit point to the China Southern Airlines, and mainly China Southern Airlines operates flights to Kyrgyzstan via Urumqi, as I told. And from Urumqi, it is a very short distance to fly, less than 2 hours, and you are in our capital, Bishkek.
Fantastic. So it's far away, but at the same time it's very close.
So as many my Chinese friends say, it is not very far, just around 8 hours to fly, compared to some other countries where it is necessary to fly more than 10 hours.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is why I warmly welcome Chinese friends to visit Kyrgyzstan, to discover new country.
And I hope you welcome Australian friends as well, because after that introduction from you, I'm really looking forward to maybe travelling there one day too.